One more person has since died after an assault by community members, patrollers in the early hours of yesterday morning, and 4 people at the scene and 8 others were hospitalized. Our reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa is in Soshanguve and joins us now for a live update. A very good afternoon to you, Mbalenhle. So we do understand now, we can confirm that one of the 8 of the people that were actually hospitalized has since passed away. Talk to us about what the police are saying, because yesterday they were saying they haven't made any arrests at that particular stage.
While investigations continue, while the situation in the community still remains quite tense, the Premier and his team of MECs, as well as portfolio committee members, as well as the portfolio committee chairperson, Dr. Mbalenhle Mthethwa, were met by a large crowd of community members who wanted to voice their unhappiness with the current situation and the crime levels which they feel have them living fear, particularly during weekends, saying that on Friday they know that they should expect criminals to break into their homes, and the target is really appliances, and these are electronic appliances that are sold at nearby areas for resale. And this is what came out of that engagement with the community, between the Premier as well as community members that were there, very angry and very unhappy, and for the Premier promising to return to the community to hear them out and allow them and give them the opportunity to voice their concerns. And this is in an effort to find solutions and a resolution to the challenges that they have expressed. The situation is quite volatile. The police advised us not to speak to community members for fear of those community members being victimized. We do understand that if there has been a commitment that within 72 hours arrests must be expected, something must happen, but it would seem as though there are some leads. However, they cannot divulge that information because it would compromise the integrity of the investigation and the arrests that are expected to follow thereafter. The Premier also saying that they cannot rule out the issue of extortion, saying that there are 4 groups that are requesting money from people. One group is requesting money for protection, the other for water, another for electricity, and another that is fighting the payment of any amount to any group. And this is what seems to have the violence and the violence that has led to the death and the brutal killing of those 5 people who had taken upon themselves the task of protecting the community because of the escalating crime levels. Gauteng Premier yet again condemning the act and the incident, saying that no one should die under such cruel circumstances. No one deserves to be fatally shot, and then once again, and almost even lit up to burn the evidence, saying that that was uncalled for and should have never even happened. But also saying that this is an indication of the fact that there's very little policing in the area, calling on the police to do their work. However, during engagements, what emerged there, the Premier saying that police say that they cannot enter the community with marked vehicles because their cars are pelted with stones, they are attacked, and uniforms are seemingly the enemies of that community. And this has then led to a situation where police cannot do their work in the area, and the Premier saying that they need to get to the bottom of this and ensure that they're able to augment security features and get law enforcement on the ground and more boots on the ground to ensure the safety of those residents, and speaking with authority given the fact that the portfolio of community safety is now relocated and now sits in the office of the Premier. And this is an area that the Premier has spoken quite prominently even during his previous administration, going as far as introducing measures such as the initially crime prevention wardens, but now Gauteng traffic wardens, to assist in the fight against crime, saying that crime is what has affected the growth potential or the economic growth potential of Gauteng, and that there was a need to deal with the elements to ignite investments within the whole province. Right now, we know that the Premier is on his way to visit those who are in hospital right now. But for now, it is back to you in studio.
All right. I'm not sure if you can hear me still, Mbalenhle. I mean, I heard you making references there, of course, to the Premier. I mean, this issue of patrollers basically being under-resourced has been quite a contentious issue, because they do not have any ways to actually protect themselves against any situation, or if they do actually, in fact, come across those people that will actually attack them. And there were calls that there should be more collaboration actually with the police, because seemingly, as you referred to earlier, you made reference to earlier on, is that it seems like it's patrollers that have taken over the duty of the police, since the police cannot even operate in that particular area.
Well, certainly. I mean, it is evidence of the fact that there is very little police visibility, if at all. And this is what has actually led to community members. But in a conversation earlier that you would have seen during that engagement between the Premier the engagement between the Premier as well as those community members which had gathered in the lead up to him meeting with family members, is that, you know, if the people or those who are now community patrollers, yes, who have not been registered with the community safety portfolio, they would have had more resources at their disposal. And that is the word of the Gauteng community safety portfolio chair that sits at the provincial legislature and oversees the community safety portfolio and is responsible for some decisions that are made there. So that individual said there is a need for those to register with the community safety in order to have access to resources.